so much for being here. I put on my glasses because I need them to see some of my pointers that I've made for you. So let's begin. Why cinema? If you hadn't been in cinema, what would you have done professionally? That's a good question.
That's a hard one. I have no idea. I don't think. Of course, there is a multiverse and there are many possibilities, but I can't imagine that multiverse. For me, it was always going to be films. I think since the age of 15 or 16, I knew that I want to make films.
How did you start?
How did I start what?
How did you start? What was your first project?
I went to film school to study at FTII. I was there for 3 years, and then I came to Bombay and I assisted two very great filmmakers, Mani Kaul and Kumar Shahani. Unfortunately, not many people know about them, but they're real masters of cinema. And I was lucky enough to work with them for 3 years. And then there is nothing. You try and write a script, you try and find money for it. And so that continues till now.
So you said, there's something I want to ask you. Film school, was it difficult? Is there some, and this I'm asking because there's so many young people who now are in film school and they look at you and they want to be you, or they want to do the work that you're doing. How much of that do you implement actually in your profession?
How much of that?
Do you implement in your profession when you leave? And was it tough? Was film school tough?
Film school was tough. It was tough for two reasons. One, it was lonely, at least for me. And secondly, you suddenly realize how little you know. And it can be very depressing. And you have great ideas and dreams and of making films, and when you go to the film school, you start watching great cinema, 2 films a day, and you say, man, I'm never going to be able to do this. I don't know anything, So you live with that for 3 years. But it was phenomenal, because then on the other side, you get to make your films, short films, a 5-minute film, then a 7-minute film, and so on. You make your mistakes there, and it's also very good because you're isolated from the world.
Yeah, so it's molding you, it's polishing you in that way.
No, it's making you. Molding comes much later.
Okay.
It's the basic infrastructure that is being put in place. You learn only by doing things, eventually.
Yeah.
But it's like learning the grammar, and it doesn't make you a writer. You might know the language or the grammar or the syntax, but that doesn't mean you're a writer. You're a writer when you start writing on your own and you learn by your own mistakes and try and get better.
Yeah. So of all the roles that you've done, all the cinema that you've done, all the work you've done, as an actor, has there been a role that you found challenging? Which has been the most challenging role for you, and why?
There is no one role like that. I can't think of anything. I don't think acting is that complicated, to be honest. And this is not a view that many actors like. But some actors like to dwell a lot on, for example, on backstory of the character. They try and build something. I try to not build.
Okay.
I try to trust the script, the director, and be as truthful in the moment as one can be.
So how do you prepare for your role?
I don't.
You don't. You just let it.
No, I have no process of
Method,
or no method of that kind. But what is very important for me when I'm acting is even when I'm directing, is the look of the character.
Okay.
I think that does a lot. What kind of clothes he's wearing, what is his hair like, does he have a beard, or what does he look like? Once you think you get the look, you're more or less there. I'll give you an example. We were doing Raghu Romeo in 2003, and I had cast Vijay Raj for it as Raghu. Because I'd worked with Vijay Raj in Monsoon Wedding before that, I knew him vaguely, and I had cast him. And we went through look and makeup and costume trial for about a month, and it just wasn't working. And you try all kinds of things. You have all kinds of ideas, and a costume team has ideas, and production designer has an idea. And I remember, I think 15 or 20 days before the shoot, there was a driver in the production house, and he was wearing this very tight, full-sleeve T-shirts. I said, "Ye T-shirt dikhaiye," and Vijay tried it, and boom, he was Raghu. It's incredible. Because Vijay Raj is like that thin, and with his T-shirt he became that, and he found a walk. It was incredible.
Right.
I think that for me is very important. That
The look of
the look of that, and I think that helps you to find the character in some way.
So, when you're, for a director, if they are, the script is really important and then the casting is really important. So can you tell us a little bit, can you shed some light on it in terms of the scripting aspect and the casting aspect of movie making?
Two very different things. Well, I'll start talking about the casting thing since we're already talking about it. Why is it saying 19 minutes left? What is this clock?
Oh, that is a...
18 minutes left.
Don't look at it.
Okay. So for me, when I'm making a film, casting process is the most important. Especially because, like I said, of my belief that I don't want actors to really be acting.
Yeah.
So you've written a role, or you've written a script, and there are many characters. And what are these characters? They're just ideas in your head, you know. It's not a living person. If I don't know if you've seen, some of you have seen Aakhon Dekhi, for example. There is Bauji and his wife and the whole family. And I've written it. And then I start meeting actors. We audition about 40 actors for each role, 40, 50, whatever. And it's a long process, 2-3 months process. And what you're looking at then, it's not about your skill. There might be 100 actors of equal talent and skill or craft. But you're looking for something beyond that. You're looking for a person who is close to the character in some way that you imagined.
Yeah.
And when you find that person, you see, this is it. This is it. And it's happened forever, you know. You're auditioning 50 people and then one person comes in, wow, where were you? You know, you are it. And my belief is that if you've cast right, then there's no way you can go wrong in performance.
Yeah.
Because that person will bring their own world to it, you know, their own bag of experience, their physicality, the way they move, the way they breathe. You can't change the way you breathe, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And that is what is interesting for me, to find a person who, then I follow that person, then I follow that actor. And my process then is to, okay, how would you see it? How would you play it?
Yeah.
How would you play this scene out? Would you like to go there and do it? So I have no fixed idea of...
So you give them the freedom then?
Completely. So I have no fixed idea of how this shot should be. And my way is not to say, okay, the camera is here, now Jyotsna, you come and sit there, and then pick a glass of water, and then say this line.
So you let me interpret it?
Completely. I would say, okay, now this is the scene, Jyotsna, how would you like to do it?
Okay, awesome.
And then we rehearse with that, and then I might have some input in that. Maybe don't sit at this moment, sit at this moment, you know, something.
Yeah.
And then after that, we start thinking, okay, how do we want to shoot this? And then the cameraman and we get into action, and we design the shot from there.
Yeah, yeah. And in terms of scripting, tell us a little bit about how, I mean, we know it's very integral to the success of a film, but what are your thoughts on it? I mean...
For me, normally, you know, you have an idea, but an idea is not a script. Idea is not a film. It's just an idea. Again, talking of Aankhon Dekhi, I'll tell you very simply. I had this idea in about 2004. 8 years before I actually wrote the script, I had this idea of a man who says, I will only believe what I experience. My only truth is what I experience. So if you tell me that the earth is round, I don't know, to me it seems flat. So maybe it is round, I'm not saying it's not, but I won't believe it. So this was the idea in my head, and it kept playing, it kept playing. I didn't know what to do with it, where to take it, what is the story, where's the screenplay in this? But it didn't leave me, this idea. And 8 years later, I thought of this joint family in Old Delhi, and boom, everything came. Babuji, his wife, his younger brother who wants to leave home, his daughter who has to get married. And all of that gave it the emotional spine for me to carry this idea forward, you know.
Yeah.
So when people ask me how long did it take, and I wrote it in 15 days, the first draft. When they ask me how long did it take you to write the script, I say 8 years and 15 days. Because those 8 years were very important because it was growing in me, this thing.
Yeah.
But actual writing took 15 days. And then normally I do 3 drafts of any script. I write 1 draft and I give it to my friends. And normally they say it's crap. And with their inputs, then I make another draft and so on. Very often you do 3 drafts and it still doesn't come together. So you throw it away. Sometimes it comes many years later in a different form.
Yeah.
There was a clip of RK. It's a film that not many people have seen. I wrote a draft of this 10 years back, where the idea was that this man, who's a filmmaker, one day his reflection goes missing from the mirror. The mirror breaks and the reflection runs away. And he's very anxious. He doesn't know what it means, but he's anxious because he's lost something. And then the reflection comes into the real world and slowly takes over his life. But somehow that script didn't come together. And then 10 years later, I did another draft, and now the reflection doesn't run away. But RK has made a film in which he's also acting, and the actor disappears from the rushes and then comes into it. So it took another form. It came in another way to me, and this worked. And so we made that film.
Wow, that's awesome. So you didn't throw away the script or put it in the cold storage, and you actually took it out later, even 10 years later.
Yeah.
So it's always there within you.
It is always there because why is there is because that idea is very fascinating for you. Right? And why does one make films? At least I. You make films because you want to go deeper within you. You know, there's no other reason.
Yeah.
I'm not making a film to please anybody. I'm not making it for commercial success. I'm not making it for no other reason except, for me, it's a journey of self-discovery. And with everything you do, every conversation you have, every step you take, you want to go deeper within, right? At least I think that should be the purpose of art. To explore yourself a little more, and through that exploration, you're also exploring the world, because you're not out of this world. If you know yourself better, you know the world a little better.
Yeah. So, when we were chatting earlier, I was telling you that we also have Mr. Rahul Vora joining us later. So there's this, the question that some of my colleagues also asked me that, when they do theatre, when a theatre actor then moves into mainstream cinema, how different is it? Do you think that...
Completely different.
Yeah?
Completely different.
How is that?
I know many, because it's completely different medium. Theatre and cinema have nothing in common. Absolutely nothing. Except the fact that both use actors, but in very, very different ways. I know many wonderful theatre actors who are bad film actors. And I know many very good film actors who will suck on stage. Because, and we keep confusing this, you know, we make films, sorry if it's a controversial thing, but in mainstream cinema, we make films which are very theatrical. And that is very far away from what cinema is or what cinema should be doing.
Yeah.
Cinema is really the medium of the camera. And you create through the camera in film. It's visual and sound. And what the camera is doing, the camera is taking in the texture, colors, light and how it falls, how the camera moves, what lens are you using.
Yeah.
And you're creating an image through all of that. An actor is a very small part of that image.
That is true.
So I think good actors also realize it. Good actors and even stars, they realize it. That what I'm doing is a very small part in this larger scheme of things. It's only bad actors who think they're doing everything. Whereas theatre is really the medium of actor.
Yeah.
And whatever you create on stage is through the actor's body and his voice. Without an actor, there is no theatre. Without an actor, cinema is possible.
Right. So tell us about a film which has really impacted you, something you'd say it's fantastic and everybody in this audience needs to go and watch it if they haven't. Your favorite film?
It's very difficult to find one favorite, but I can name a few.
Yeah.
For me, 8.5 is that film, and Chaplin's Modern Times and City Lights. For me, Fellini and Chaplin are really the greatest filmmakers. And if I was to think of an Indian film, I would say Pyasa, and Ritvik Ghatak's Shubhanurekha. For me, these are the Mother India, maybe. These are the greatest films made in this country.
So everybody got that. Tell us a little bit about your upcoming projects.
Well, we made a film last year. It's called Everybody Loves Shorab Handa. It's a murder mystery.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It should be out sometime soon. Or maybe not soon, I don't know. I have no idea about distribution. And distribution is getting worse every year for films.
Your favorite actor
In the world,
in the world?
I would say Balraj Sahni. You know, I have I would say Gene Kelly for Singing in the Rain. I don't know. It also changes. It may not be a great actor like that, but there are great performances sometimes you like. I like Jack Nicholson very much.
Yeah.
I used to like young Robert De Niro very much. Young Mr. Bachchan very, very much.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to allow a few questions from the audience. But before that, I want to ask you, how do you, I mean, the work that actors do, directors do, filmmakers do is very, very hectic. And I think very, very hectic and stressful. And also there's a...
Not the works that actors do, no. Actors' work is not hectic.
Well, filmmaker.
Yeah.
Filmmakers. So how do you keep yourself balanced through the thing? How do you keep yourself motivated? Like Harbinderji was also talking about this with Ashwani Ayyar Tiwari, who was here. How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you say, okay, fine, like the script you were talking about. I mean, you picked it up after 10 years. So how do you say to yourself that, listen, no, I mean, it's fine, it didn't work out, I'm going to keep going?
I feel there is not even a choice, you know, to not keep going. It's not even a choice. I believe that this thing, this wanting to make films or wanting to do whatever you're doing, I'm sure for some business people also, it must be like that. I think it's a bit like a sickness, you know. It's not in your control. you have to do it. It's like breathing. You don't say, why do you keep breathing? Because you have to.
Just do it. Yeah.
You just do it. Also, for me, it's not work. For me, I feel that for last 30, 35 years of my life, I've not worked a single day.
That's wonderful.
It's a joy. And every process of filmmaking or of theatre making is a joy. When you're writing a script, it's beautiful. When you're actually making... What is not beautiful is raising money for it. That's the
Yeah.
only hard part.
Yeah.
And trying to release your film. But other than that, the actual process is phenomenal. When you're shooting a film, it's great chaos and joy.
Yeah.
When you're editing it, it's wow, 3 months of edit. So it's an incredible journey. Every film is an incredible journey. Why not do it? I mean, why won't I do it? There's no
Awesome.
question.
Awesome. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to invite Mr. Sunil Chauhan to give you a token of appreciation. Thank you so much.